What's happening, Captain? Welcome back to Conversations with Carrie Lea. Happy New Year to you and yours. I am so glad y'all came back for another episode because you are talking with the resident singles expert. I know, you're thinking, wait, didn't I say that you got married? Girl, yeah, but I've been married for 2 minutes. I was single for a long, come on now, over 15 years. So therefore, one thing I do know is single seasons. And you know what? As we start the new year, I got to thinking about what that means. And I was actually doing some journaling this morning. Y'all know I love a good old prayer journal. That's really kind of I have my quiet time with Jesus. And I always make a point to review my list of things that maybe I prayed for the previous year, and or I go back through my journal just to recall some of the goodness of the Lord. And I was given, like, my list of gratitude and just talking about the things the Lord has done. And I also went through some other journals because I remember sometimes at the start of a new year, it was a little difficult for me sometimes in my single season. Not every time, but sometimes. Because, at the time I was desiring a spouse. And I want to acknowledge that sometimes it's difficult to go into the new year with a desire for something and feeling like, well, Lord, where is it? And it doesn't have to be a spouse. It could be a new job. It could be a new car. It could be a new house. It could be friendships, reconciliation, better family relationships, whatever it might be. And when you're waiting on the Lord to show up in a particular area, it can just feel a little draining. And sometimes your hope is just not where it needs to be, and your faith feels even lower. I get it. I'm talking to my single peeps today. That's you're thinking like, oh my gosh, it's a new year, and I still am not married, or I still have not met that special person. Let me first say, first, there is nothing wrong with you. Because what the enemy will try to do is that he will try to tell you lies and make you feel like you are not special. He will try to tell you that you are not important and that you got issues and it's all you. I remember there were times that I would, be going through a single season, and I feel like the enemy would just tell me, he would try to make me seem like the common denominator. Now, Trifling Tony, Messy Marvin, and Mr. Potato Head, apparently he didn't point out what was going on with them, but he made it seem like it was all about me. Well, you're the common denominator. And sometimes I would wonder, like, gosh, am I too confident? Am I too ambitious? Am I not warm enough? And I just think about all the things that maybe are wrong with me. Now, I think that there's a dose of healthy self reflection, but I don't want you to think and believe the lies that the enemy is trying to tell you as you start out the new year. Like, here you go, another year that you ain't found nobody. You know you're the problem. No, you ain't. He's the problem. And he knows also the Lord has great things planned for you in throughout your life. And he just wants you to get off on the wrong path. And let's not add the fact that it is still cuffing season. Ooh, I know. Now, this may be a new term for some. I feel like it's a millennial term. Now, my Gen Z, I don't know if they use it or not. But what it comes down to is that, you've been acting a fool all summer. Summertime, you out here, being the hot, holy girl that you are. And you're just enjoying life. And, you're not really thinking about a boo because you're like out traveling, or you're just spending time with friends at festivals, and, you're serving at your church. You're doing all the great things that sometimes happen in the summertime. But in the winter, when you're at home more, snow may be on the ground where you're at, or it's raining, and, you want to cuddle up. And sometimes you want to watch that movie with that special person. And you start to think about, like, dang, how can I lock this down? And let me tell you, when you're feeling like that, that's exactly when the enemy wants to send Messy Marvin your way, or when he wants Mr. Potato Head. And let me y'all know we always have girls always have special names for a dude that they dating. And Mr. Potato Head came to my mind with a dude that had like too much of a mustache. So I'm like, and had a big head. And I feel like Mr. Potato Head came to my mind. But they come texting at the very time when you're vulnerable. And it might be something as simple as hey, how you doing? Happy New Year. Or it might be hey, I just been thinking about you. I hope you enjoyed time with your family this year. Or sometimes it'll just be like, what you getting into today? It could be very straight up, or it may be a little more coded. But either way it goes, sometimes those texts, when you're already feeling a little lonely, maybe a little vulnerable, oof. And you also just spent time with family who was all up in your business and asking why you won't have a man yet. Child, listen, those texts will come at the worst time. And you're thinking, well, what harm can it be just to tell him, like, hey, I'm good. Thanks for asking about me. How are you? Whatever it might be. But then next thing you know, this man's sitting in your house smiling at you, and you up here with temptation sitting right in your lap, and you're like, dang, what am I about to do right now? Sis, dude, let me save y'all some time. Delete the text, delete the DM. And I know you might be like, Carrie, that's easy for you to say. Yes, right now it is. But no, I was in this moment. I was very clear. And I knew, dang, I could either have this night, this fleeting night of somewhat of enjoyment, or I could like buckle down and be like, Holy Spirit, help me. Like, call up a friend, go see a movie, go out to dinner by yourself, read a book, and don't read one of those spicy romance novels either. Like, there are other things you can do with your time. Pray, journal, paint your nails. Listen, there are all kind of things that I did to avoid this trap of like, oh, it's a new year. I wish I had somebody. And here come that person calling. No, I get it. It is difficult, and sometimes it can just feel almost like, dare I say, unfair. But cuffing season and this whole happy new year moment, don't get caught up. I want you to know that God has chosen you. You are special, you are purposeful, and you are wonderful. One thing I used to do, and sometimes I still do when I'm like feeling, like I'm not feeling like my best. Listen, stand in that mirror, and I often would take my clothes off because I needed to see everything and be like, Lord, you love all this. All of this is wonderful. And I would just like, circle my hands over my body. Lord, you love all of this. Because sometimes the enemy will try to make you seem like you're less than, or he'll try to make you feel like, oh, well, this hasn't happened for you yet. And to make it seem like you're the problem. I want you to know today, boo, you are not the problem. You are not the issue. Now, yes, the Lord has some things he may want to work with you, and you might be the drama right now, but that's okay. The Lord's going to work that out of you too. But I want you to know that it's not like because you're not good enough or anything like that. Don't believe those lies. Don't let those kind of lies sink in, because when you think about answering the text or answering a call, oftentimes what's going to come to your memory is nothing but the good stuff. And this is where I take it to church, because in Exodus, I've been reading Exodus, and it talks about how the children of Israel, every time they faced a challenge as they were leaving Egypt, their days of slavery, every time they faced a challenge, they were like, well, Moses, where are you leading us? We were better off back in Egypt, because all they could think about was the leeks and the onions and the garlic that they used to feast on back in Egypt. But I'm like, did y'all forget what came along with those leeks and onions and garlic? So I want to put it in the way that you understand. So you might be thinking like, dang, he could kiss, or I just love that he used to take me out to eat and we would go fun places. He always had a joke. He was really funny. Okay, great. Yep, I get that. But did you also forget that he wasn't clear about his intentions, and you often felt confused, or he would throw out little sly comments that were kind of degrading, or the fact that he would always disappear at important moments in your life? Child, let's not forget about the wrong things that happen. But it's so easy when we're facing a challenge or a difficulty in our flesh to want to immediately embrace what used to be. Nah, girl, don't forget what came along with all of that booty rubbing and such, okay? That ain't where you want to be. And just like with the children of Israel, there were times where it's like, don't forget that Pharaoh was abusing y'all. Like, don't forget that your kids were destined for slavery if you had not followed the Lord and y'all had not been delivered. Like, let's not forget, folks. Let's not forget. And I know sometimes hearing it from somebody who's been through it can either be encouraging or be like, well, you don't get it. Nah, boo, I get it. I get the feelings. I get sometimes the hard nights, the tears, if we're being really honest, and the crying out to God. I get it. But keep crying out to God. He hears you. And you might think, well, he didn't respond, or how do I know he hears me? Open up your word. There are stories that I've been reading lately that he has given me brand new revelation. I've been stuck on Exodus 14 for a while now. And every time I read it, he shows me a different perspective. He brings out something different. So I encourage you that when you're feeling like, dang, yeah, this is a new year. Yeah, happy new year, all of that. But I'm still in the same situation. Whatever that situation may be, let God use it. Let him go deep with you. Like, get in your word, pull out your journal, talk with your spiritual mentors and your disciples. Like, get into it. Don't let this time be wasted. And please, please, please don't go back. Don't go backwards. Don't go back to trifling Tony. It's a waste of your time, and you just gonna regret it in the end, boo. I promise. And I just want you to know that your dignity, your worth, your quality are not optional. You you deserve a significant other who treats you with such respect and honor. Waiting on God's best means sometimes a couple cold nights or a season of cold nights. But I promise you that when that season comes with starfish in your bed, heightened clarity, clear skin, no stress, and clear peace, that's always worth it over the leeks, the onions, the confusion, the loneliness that person caused when he was in your life or when she was in your life. But I just want you to think about how you can do things differently, and also think about, why do you feel this way for the new year? So for all my people who love to journal, or if you want to take some time to reflect while you're working out, while you're driving to work, or you're just having some quiet time, I want you to think about, what's driving your desire to be coupled up right now. Is it because you just came from like holiday gatherings where, your young cousins or somebody's child was asking you why you don't have a family yet? Yep, I've been there too. I get it. But ask yourself, like, what is it that I really want from this new year? And also list how you're thanking God for where He's brought you right now. Do your best to look at, like, you got some fruit in your hand. Don't pay attention to the giants around you. Look at the fruit that the Lord is giving you in your hand and think about, like, okay, Lord, how do I harvest this? How do I use this for your glory? Because He's going to use it for your good. And, get honest with Him. Be real honest. Nobody's going to see this but you. But let Him reveal some things to you that can set your new year up for success. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Carrie. And if this episode resonated with you, you know what? I think you'll love my book, Granny Panty Chronicles. It's full of stories like this: messy, hopeful, and all about faith in real life. So grab your copy at carrielee.com. That's CARRIELEA.com. Or you can go over to Amazon and look up Granny Panty Chronicles and find your copy there. Happy New Year, fam.